Welcome to Trails from DuPage, where we explore great biking trails throughout the county. Today we're going to take the Eastern Loop, that is starting in Wheaton, traveling to Villa Park, back out to West Chicago, and back to Wheaton. We will be starting at the 0 marker. On the weekends you can park in the adjacent parking structure. The main stem runs from Wheaton east to Elmhurst. We will be going as far as Villa Park today. Traveling through Wheaton, the trail is a double-wide sidewalk until you get past the downtown area, at which point the path becomes the traditional crushed limestone. On Saturdays, they do have a farmer's market in Wheaton, so that may be something that you'd want to stop at, as you will be passing right by it. At the College Avenue train station, you may encounter a lot of pedestrians, commuters getting on and off the train, so be a little bit careful here. After crossing College Avenue, the trail becomes a mostly covered, shaded trail and is a very comfortable ride between here and Glen Ellyn. You'll know you're near Glen Ellyn when you see the Glen Ellyn Public Library near Prospect Avenue. The trail in Glen Ellyn is much better. It's a paved trail going through the downtown area, separate from all other activities, which I really like. And they even include a bike repair station with some minor tools that you can stop to fix your bike if necessary. The two sections of the Illinois Prairie Path that we'll be traveling today, the main stem and the Elgin Spur, are part of a much larger trail called the Grand Illinois Trail, which stretches 535 miles out to the Mississippi, up to the Wisconsin border and back through Chicago. I put a link to the Grand Illinois Trail in the description below. At Hill Avenue, the trail makes a turn to the right and goes up a small hill before crossing Hill Avenue. After Hill Avenue, the trail will dip down into the east branch of the DuPage River Valley. You'll cross a bridge here, which is today a metal bridge with concrete. It used to be a wooden bridge, but some kids burned it down a couple of times, and the people in charge of the bridge finally decided just to build a fireproof bridge. Crossing the river, we're leaving Glen Ellyn and getting into the Lombard area, where we cross I-355 and Route 53 on a nice new bridge. Lombard is a little different in itself in that it's the only town that really cut up the path once the rails were removed. There are quite a number of street crossings. I'm showing you 8 of the 11 street crossings that you will cross while traveling the Prairie Path to Villa Park. It can be a little bit annoying, but there are a couple of nice places you can stop. On Main Street, you can visit the very first Dairy Queen in DuPage County, and also along Elizabeth Street at the Lombard Library, you'll find Lilacia Park, which can be quite beautiful in the springtime when the lilacs are blooming. Shortly after crossing Westmore Avenue, you'll enter Villa Park. It's a totally different world here. The path is more like a boulevard, and they have even preserved some of the old railroad stops along the lines. I'm going to include a link down below which will show you what it looked like before the rails were removed. You will see a large building that appears to be a factory in the distance. It's now condominiums. It used to be the Ovaltine factory. The Great Western Trail is actually a spur line. It dead-ended in the Ovaltine factory. The only purpose of this line was to bring products or take products away from Ovaltine. Had you taken the Prairie Path all the way to Villa Avenue at the Ovaltine factory, you would have been much closer to the Great Western Trail, but this cut-off connector here is actually much nicer. Once we're up on the Great Western Trail, we're now heading west, and our destination is going to be West Chicago. This is a much younger trail than the Illinois Prairie Path, and in sections you will find it to be wide open. But while traveling through Villa Park and Lombard, there are a number of benches. It is kind of a shaded trail, so it's very nice. And in addition, when going through Lombard, there are not nearly as many road crossings as there are on the Illinois Prairie Path. However, once you get to Westmore, you will see a barrier erected that forces you to go up to the stoplight in order to cross. This is actually a very good safety precaution, as the street is very busy, and having the trail very close to an intersection could cause a lot of accidents. The trail itself used to end at this spur just a few years back, and you had to go down to street level in order to continue on the trail. This was quite a nuisance, but today we have a brand new bridge built which spans St. Charles Road, the Northwestern Railroad tracks, and Grace Avenue. This is where the old Great Western Railroad used to travel. However, today it's been redesigned with a little bit of curvature, so it's much more pleasant to ride. Not to mention much more convenient to get from the eastern side of the trail to the western side of the trail. When you approach Route 53, it's an underpass. In the days of the Great Western Railroad, it was actually Route 53 that was the underpass, and the railroad went above it. When we cross I-355, we're leaving Lombard and entering Glendale Heights. We will be traveling along the southern border of Glendale Heights, as well as the northern border of Glen Ellyn. At Swift Road, you have an opportunity to actually take a side trail down to Churchill Woods. There is an underpass that will take you under St. Charles Road into Churchill Woods, should you choose to do so. Main Street Glen Ellyn is the next intersection after Swift Road. Just a third of a mile south of the Great Western Trail is Five Corners, where you'll find Stacy's Tavern. This is a museum, but in the old days, 1840s, this was actually a stagecoach stop on the route from Chicago to Galena. It's a great place to learn about the history of Glen Ellyn, as well as what it was like traveling in the 1840s. It's not totally uncommon to encounter horses on the trail. Should you ever be in this position, always slow down and pass very slowly. Horses are very skittish. You don't want them jumping all over you. When you get to Schmally Road in Carroll Stream, you'll encounter another barrier that'll direct you down to St. Charles Road in order to cross Schmally. Once you're across Schmally, you'll see right on the corner Augustino's Deli. This would be an excellent rest stop. They have very good sandwiches. It's a 50s style diner if you were to sit inside, but they also have terrific outdoor seating. Of course, if you prefer ice cream, there is a Culver's ice cream just south on Schmally Road as well. The trail travels right through another piece of property, which is the Ozinga concrete plant. Just after the concrete plant, you will see a cemetery on the north side of the trail, St. Stephen's Cemetery, in case you're interested in old cemeteries. When approaching Gary Avenue, take your time crossing here. There's a lot of traffic because St. Charles Road makes a zigzag right here across the trail. Red Hawk Park in Carroll Stream offers one of the many trailside parking locations you'll find on this loop. As you continue west towards West Chicago, the trail from here on will be quite exposed and can be quite windy. We just crossed the Klein Creek, and at County Farm Road you have an option to go to the Klein Creek Farm, which is a good historical museum. In addition, if you want to shave about a mile off of the loop, the Klein Creek Trail will take you down to Geneva and County Farm Road. You'll pass a turnoff to the West Branch of DuPage River Trail. It does not connect to any other portion of the West Branch Trail, and it's very sad that we don't have a contiguous West Branch trail on the DuPage River through DuPage County. Shortly after crossing the West Branch of DuPage River, you'll be reaching Prince Crossing Road, which is where we will turn back on the Illinois Prairie Path Elgin branch towards Wheaton. The Great Western Trail does not continue too much further beyond this point. However, it does pick up again in St. Charles and goes all the way out to Sycamore should you ever choose to travel the trail further. If it's more convenient for you to start the loop at this location, there is a very good parking lot right at this intersection. We're now traveling back towards Wheaton. I'm not going to cover this section of the trail in too much detail. If you wish to learn more about what's in this part of the trail, I would encourage you to take a look at my 30-mile loop video where I do describe this. Basically, you cross Klein Creek and you will come to the intersection of County Farm and Geneva Road, where it connects with not only the Klein Creek Trail but also the Geneva Spur that you can take out to Geneva. However, on this loop trail we will continue towards Wheaton, and we're about 2 miles away from downtown Wheaton and the end of the loop. As we wrap up this video, I would encourage you to leave your comments and suggestions down below. I'm always looking for ways to make my videos better. And if you found this video to be informative or entertaining, please click the like and subscribe buttons.